It's so hard for a game to keep my attention, man. Honestly, yeah, the only games that have kept my attention recently, dude, is Valorant. It's Valorant, dude. And then, obviously, Cyberpunk too, bro. Because I fucking love that game. Did you make Cyberpunk PP big? You're damn right, chat. I was a little disappointed. The only thing I didn't like about Cyberpunk was I was trying to roleplay and they didn't have the penis 3 option. And it was a shame, man. I just really couldn't get into the character. So, you know, hopefully they you know, include that in a patch. You know, it just never could get big enough, chat, you know? Dude, so, okay, I didn't talk about Cyberpunk with you boys. So I played, I think, around 50 hours total. Let's check my Steam. So I played Cyberpunk for about 52 hours. Last night, I finally beat it off stream. I stayed up late, literally grinded the shit out of this game on the weekend and when I was free. Every second was just playing this, dude. I have a lot to say because there's so much shit going on right now. I've seen so many people online, on Reddit, and a lot of forums just shitting all over Cyberpunk, and rightfully so. I mean, the executives obviously fucked up, right? I mean, you shouldn't release a broken game on platforms that you say it works on, like PS4, right? I see so many people talking about Cyberpunk in like when compared to GTA, and everyone's arguing like Cyberpunk sucks, the world feels so dead. Like in GTA, you can go and like and the pedestrians react more and there's a better cop system, which is true, which is just objectively true. The world feels live, like you can go play volleyball and like you can buy food. Does anyone like that in GTA? Is that actually a selling point? Like, does anyone give a fuck that you can play some stupid, boring volleyball minigame? I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. I just like the world of Cyberpunk so much more. And I feel like there's no one that agrees with me. Because like, to me, it's like the cop system's bad and the NPCs don't react necessarily as much, especially as compared to Red Dead 2, because that was a great game too. But like, I don't know, when you extrapolate that out and compare it against what the game does well, being stories, character, relationships, writing, acting, like I would much rather every single day of the week. I would easily take what Cyberpunk does over what GTA does any day of the week. Like, if you ask me, would you rather have well-written characters that you genuinely bond with, or would you rather have a fucking stupid volleyball mini game and people that react to you slightly more? I'd be like, well, obviously, I don't know, man. I genuinely think this is the best game I've ever played, ever. And obviously I'm gonna have to sit on that for a while because it's only been like a day since I played, but I genuinely think it's the best game I've ever played in my life. I don't know, man. Like when I finished, in my entire life, I've read a ton of books. I was in college, I was in a class called Great Books. I've read tons of novels, I've watched lots of movies. I genuinely don't think I've ever had as strong an emotional reaction as the ending of Cyberpunk 2077 in any media ever in my life. I feel weird because it feels like I'm just sucking the game's dick. Like I think about it, I'm like, oh dude, I'm probably just hyped on it because it's like I'm in the honeymoon period and shit. But if I'm being realistic with myself, every single game I've played, Mass Effect, everything, one of my favorite series ever, Mass Effect, doesn't even come close. I love Mass Effect. Before I would have told you Mass Effect, those are my favorite characters, my favorite story, like my favorite like world to be in. Not even close, dude. The writing in this game makes me think Mass Effect sucks now. I'm not as excited to play the remaster of the Mass Effect trilogy because of how good my experience with Cyberpunk was. Because I know, because I played Mass Effect, I know the writing isn't as good and I know the characters aren't as good. I seriously can't say enough good shit about this game. There's so many problems. And rightfully so. The best way to explain it is this game's riddled with bugs and it's riddled with problems. Like, for example, a lot of the RPG mechanics are a little underbaked. Like, a lot of the skills you get, like, they give you upgrades, but like, they're not as interesting as they could be. The best way to put it is like, the game has heart. And I know that sounds gay as fuck, but like, it literally, dude, I can't explain it. I honestly cannot even think of a way that I would have liked how it went more. You know, the driving didn't feel great. There was a couple cars that felt good. I thought the Porsche felt good. The car I got, Quadra, was kind of eh. It was like, it literally felt like it was on ice skates. But I just don't care. Like, I just didn't mind it. To be honest, the other parts of the game were so good that it wasn't even that I cared it wasn't the best driving ever. It really, like, I almost enjoyed it more because I enjoyed the other parts of the game more. It was just part of the experience. I'm so surprised that it seems like 90 to 95+% of people aren't having the experience I'm having. And I think it's because most people aren't giving the game a chance. I think they aren't actually putting in 50 hours and doing all the side quests and getting to know the characters and then beating the game. But straight up honest, I think it's the best thing I've ever, best not even game, just the best experience I've had in a long time, if not the best, honestly. The best way to put this, and once again, this sounds weird, but I genuinely miss fake people. Like when I finished Cyberpunk, I had a feeling like I genuinely, like I had a best friend and I had to leave. It literally felt like when I left to college and I had to leave all my good friends behind, and like I wouldn't be able to see them for a long time. Has anyone here actually beaten the game? Because I'd love to talk to someone that's actually beaten the game. Because when I go on these forums and there's so many angry people, and there's a lot of people that are happy as well, don't get me wrong. I barely see anyone that's beaten it. And I'm like, bro, when I beat this game, everything changed. Like something clicked in my head and I was like, holy shit. I think writing wise and character wise and acting wise, this game is like an 11 out of 10. Let me rephrase this. Cyberpunk's story may not be the greatest of all time, especially story-wise. Character-wise, there's a good argument that yes, they are the greatest ever. But it connected with me. Like I would be lying if I told you this wasn't the best experience I've had in a long time, if not ever. It's hard to say without spoilers, is what I'm putting at. The game isn't afraid to not be a game, is the best way to put it. It feels like you're just talking. Like a lot of the missions, you straight up, it's the most boring thing you've ever seen in your fucking life. There is no combat. There is no engage. Like there is nothing going on except you just forming a relationship with someone. And it sounds bad. And I think for a lot of people, maybe 80% plus of people, it's not going to work. And they're going to say the game sucks because they don't like it. But if it fucking works like it did on me, it really fucking works. There's so many moments in this game though that are really interesting, really funny, really thoughtful. And the ending I got specifically, like I said, was fucking perfect, bro. And it wasn't even just like a stupid happy ever after ending. I don't want to spoil too much, but it was like a mature, interesting, emotional ending. It's funny because like at first, when it first started, I was pissed because I don't want to spoil too much, but I was pissed. And then as it kept going, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God, this is so good. And then it ended, I was like, holy fucking shit, that was absolutely amazing. The foreign relationship sounds like what you do in D&D, to be honest. No, but it's like better. It's as good as a relationship that you form with an actual person. In real life, D&D is good, not because of D&D, but it's good because you form that relationship with the person. What I'm trying to say is Cyberpunk is the only media I have ever played in my life where the relationship is legitimately as good as an actual, like it literally felt like I was like, holy shit, I literally feel like this is someone in my family. Like obviously, if I had to choose, I'm gonna say my sister, you know, not Jackie. But and he isn't one of the characters I got super attached to, by the way. See, he was good, but he wasn't the specific reasons I'm in love with this game. But bro, it's like that, Bushy. It's like the relationships you would form from friends playing D&D in person is the level that Cyberpunk got to with me.